Back in the late 1800s, streetcars and trolleys were a main mode of transportation here in Atlanta. And as the local population grew, a secondary shopping district was created about 2.5 miles east of downtown Atlanta, and that area flourished. That was until the late 60s, when the city proposed putting a freeway right through the middle of the community, scaring off residents and killing what was once a thriving community. Eventually, residents were able to fight off the proposed freeway, and in the 70s and 80s, things began to turn around, and we have what we now know today as Little 5 Points. In this video, I'm going to share with you some history, the unique culture of Little 5 Points, and what makes this area so great, and the 5 things you should know about Little 5 Points. So the first thing you should know is, where did Little 5 Points get its name? It actually comes from the layout of the community. If you look at Little 5 Points from the sky, you'll notice that a number of streets converge. Originally, 2 points come from Moreland Avenue, 2 points come from Euclid Avenue, and 1 point comes from Seminole Avenue. But when they built Finley Plaza, Seminole Avenue no longer intersected the other streets. So unofficially, the 5th point is now McClendon Avenue. It's called Little because if you look at the center of downtown, you'll find the bigger 5 points. It's at the southwest corner of Woodruff Park, where Decatur Street, Peachtree Street, Marietta Street, and Edgewood all meet. Head north on Moreland Avenue, and you can choose to hang out at Freedom Park or go west on Ponce de Leon, which will take you to Ponce City Market and eventually Midtown. Now, one other thing that you should know is that Moreland Avenue is actually the dividing line between 2 counties. On the west side of Moreland Avenue, you have Fulton County, and on the east side of Moreland Avenue, you have DeKalb County. And this can be important regarding your property taxes. The second thing you should know is that Moreland Avenue is the major dividing line in the community. It runs north to south and is a major artery for Atlanta. It's a 4-lane highway and can get pretty busy here in Little 5 Points. If you head south on Moreland Avenue, you'll run into the Edgewood Retail District. There you're gonna find all your typical stores like Lowe's, Kroger, Target, and a few chain restaurants. A little bit further south and you'll have easy access to I-20. You'll run into East Atlanta Village, and you'll even run into one of my favorite spots, the Starlight 6 Drive-In movie theater. Number 3 is that Little 5 Points is actually a commercial district and not a residential neighborhood. While it does serve 2 communities, Candler Park and Inman Park, a little more on that in a minute, it's actually a very busy shopping district. Now, a unique thing about the community is that it really prides itself on being a district of independent and small businesses. Outside of a Starbucks on the northern part of the community, you won't really find any other chain restaurants or stores in the area. There are stores here that have been here since the 70s and 80s. Junkman's Daughter is an alternative superstore which sells trinkets, clothing, and a little bit of everything. You've got Wax and Facts, Criminal Records, and Moods Music, which are 3 different music stores that each have their own vibe. Even in the restaurant category, you have Savage Pizza, which has a comic book theme, as well as the Atlanta staple, The Vortex, which you just can't miss. 4th on the list is that Little 5 Points is a really tight-knit community. History lens is that the owners are invested into the neighborhood. When the freeway was proposed to come through the middle of the community, it was the residents and the business owners partnered with Mayor Maynard Jackson at the time that fought to stop demolition that was already going on in the area. When a CVS was proposed in the area, it was, again, the residents and the business owners that got together to continue to put small businesses in the forefront. Neighbors even came together to start the local Bond Federal Credit Union. Fun fact, before it was known as Little 5 Points, this area was actually known as the Bass District. This was comprised of Inman Park, Candler Park, Lake Claire, Little 5 Points, and Ponce Highlands. These communities all came together to develop their own source of funding for real estate projects back in the 70s. The Bass Organization for Neighborhood Development, or the Bond Community Federal Credit Union, was a result of this collaboration. Now, one thing not to miss here is the annual Halloween Festival. It's a huge event that has vendors, everybody dresses up, and there's a big parade right down Moreland Avenue. Now, the 5th point is about the real estate. As I mentioned before, Little 5 Point services 2 main communities, Emmett Park to the west and Candler Park to the east. In Emmett Park, you're primarily gonna find that 50% of the homes are single-family detached, whereas the other 50% are gonna be a mixture of townhomes, condos, and a handful of small multifamily homes. In Candler Park, you'll find that around 75% of those homes are gonna be single-family detached homes. Now, between the two communities, the style is gonna be a mixture between Victorian and Craftsman, and many of the homes are older but renovated. Pricing typically starts in the 500,000s and goes up to $1 to $2 million. Now, as of today, while both communities have a rich history, only Emmett Park has an official local designation as a community district, while Candler Park is in the process of applying for theirs. Little Five Points is a very unique district with a bohemian vibe and a homey feel. Here you're gonna find artists, musicians, and people who just love that alternative culture. It's a one-of-a-kind area that you're just gonna have to experience yourself. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in this area, my team and I would love to be your Atlanta real estate guide. Just send an email to info@homeswithramon.com and we'll take care of you. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the like button and don't forget to hit the subscribe, as we're putting out videos on Atlanta neighborhoods all the time. I'll see you on the next one.